Hey everybody, Tony on the Jersey Shore. It's been quite a while since I made a video, so I thought I would, by request, throw another one out there. It has been quite a while. Let me show you the panels. On this side we have 340 watt solar panels, and they are at 44 volts. In the center there we've got 165 up at about 44 volts or so. Then we have the 200 next, 200 watt panel, and that is at 36 volts. And then on the end we have 200 watts at it's a 12 volt panel running about anywhere from 18 to 20 volts. So they are strung up in series parallel, and I did a little experiment. I got a few panels from Harbor Freight. Didn't pay retail for them. They were closeout. I got about 10, and as you can see, we've had some snow out here. And over on that side are my 10 panels laying on the ground. I'll go over and get a closer look for you, but basically the snow was a little too much for those, and I kind of figured it was, but it was just a rig and a test until I get some warmer weather, where over here I've started building the frame, and I will definitely start putting some panels on that in the near future. But this weather has been brutal here, and can't wait to add on. Let me go give you a closer look at what happened to my other panels. Okay, here's what's left of my rig. As you can see, these probably look familiar. These are the Harbor Freight panels. There's 5 on each side. There's 5 on the other side. And these panels were strictly for testing, checking out the angle of the sun at what time and what time of year. Once again, I bought these panels at a discount. Most of them were floor model panels that they were trying to get rid of, so I did not start with these, as a lot of people do. Go across the pool here. Still see there's some snow left. The snow led to the collapse. I don't want to go too high there, but the sun basically right now it is about 3:30, and I am on the East Coast, so the sun is now back that way behind my panels. So it gives you an idea. Those panels there give me roughly about 3 kilowatts a day. This time of the year, I do better in the summertime. I recently added that one panel on the end there, the 200. It was a cheap panel that I thought that I would play around with to see how the parallel series stack would work. There she is. I added this to my solar collection. Everybody probably should have one of these. It's pretty tough to be completely off the grid, so this is more or less for emergencies. And let me take you a little closer. This is actually, I got an awesome deal on this. This was another Harbor Freight deal. As you can see, it's Chicago, their brand. And over here, this vents. There is a fan in the window, and that goes on when the generator goes on. What I did was, let me see if I have enough light to take you in close enough. Okay, right in there to the left of the meters usually is a key switch. I removed the key switch, and what I did was I tied it in. There's my starting battery on the ground. What I did was I tied it in to my inside system, and how I did that was, there we are. We have 2 legs for the 220. We have a couple of 110 on the other side. See, a little closer there. And if we come up, give you a shot of the box here. This isn't totally finished, but if you'll note, let me get in closer. If you get in, you'll see the relays in there. Obviously, this is how I kick it over. You know, you can't, I have Cat 5 wire running from here underground into the basement, and that's what's controlling the start of this generator, believe it or not. But if you do it properly with relays, then you're able to do this. Basically, you're just you set it up as a continuity situation. So from inside, I have 9-volt batteries, and I took that apart, and I'll show you in a few minutes. I'll give you a shot of this. Up here is a baby monitor. Okay, and that baby monitor is going to make a little sense when I take you inside, because that's how I can hear exactly what this generator is doing, because I start it remotely from inside the house. Okay, here we are inside, down in the basement. And let me start off with the generator so I can give you an idea of what's going on. This is actually, I made this little panel up. Let's see if you can come in a little bit. Called it the Gen Start, and on this side we have a manual, we have automatic, so if I want to start it from the outside I actually can. Put on a little push button there, and this little yellow button to the right, if I flip that up, that will turn on the baby monitor outside, which transmits to none other than the other end of it. Now I didn't mount this pretty or anything like that at this point because a lot of it was for testing, and it indeed did work. Here is the 9-volt battery that I'm using for the baby monitor. This is traveling over this Cat 5, believe it or not. Nothing more than Cat 5 wiring running underground in conduit. It runs out there along with, there is some 12 gauge wire. I'll show you inside the back of the box, which runs down into this box. There is 12 gauge, which is hooked to the low voltage portion of the generator. There's just a little battery pack I put together. It's equivalent to about 12 volts there. And all you really need is 9. It's got a 9-volt cap. Let me see if I can show you that. The light is a little tough. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, you can see there's a 9-volt cap on top of it, and that, you know, a regular 9-volt battery goes on there. Now, just to demonstrate, if I turn this yellow button on here, you'll see this monitor kicks in. Okay, now I can actually hear outside. So if I want to start this generator, let's put her in manual mode, so I can do a manual start, and you'll actually hear the generator try and kick over in a second here when I press this button. And there she is. She kicked right over. I'll let you hear that. Okay, so I have full control over my generator from inside the house, rain, sleet, snow, whatever the deal is. If I want to turn it off, I simply take this button, back to center position, and there it is. We're quiet again. It's off. Over here, if you guys haven't seen my Apollo, I really like this. The one thing that I do not like about this, if there's anything at all I don't like, because I love it, you'll see my batteries are topped at 56.5 because I still have a little bit of energy coming in. That'll drop down later on when there's 0 energy coming in, but these batteries have been topped off for a while because I've been running the generator a little bit. Here's my grid tie, and I started to say the thing that I don't like about this, getting back to it, is they don't show you the watts in. So what I do is right down here I have a Dr. Watson, or what do they call them, Turnigy meters. I simply take this one cable out right here and I run the negative leg. Let me see if I can back up. Okay, this cable right here, I take it out. I put one negative leg there, one negative leg there, and one over to power. And you got to be careful you don't use panel power because we only handle up to 60 volts. And guess what? Take a look right now at what my voltage is coming in. Top 80.7. So you can't use one of those Dr. Watson or Turnigys if you're going to run to solar panel source. You got to come down, and I pick up, this is my 48 volt controller. So you have to come over here and pick up 48 so you know you're not going to exceed. All right, we're 100% full into those banks. This bank over here, let me light this up. There we go. This is my Xantrex. I'm not 100% full into here. Okay, you can see we got 11.4. I was running this one for a little while, so I got to charge back up. I split the panels out there on the roof that you saw, and I was also running, at one point I was running the Harbor Freight panels in here for the 12 volt source just to play games. Down here it doesn't light up, but this is, there's nothing coming in right now. Let me see if I can give you a better shot with the light. There's my Dr. Watson, and it's simply mounted in a box. Okay, which are really neat. But again, you got to be careful. Make sure that you keep your source under 60 volts or it ends up in the graveyard like this guy right here. So I might play with that later on, see if I can bring it back to life. Oh, also over here I have to remember to turn off the outside, and there it goes, to turn off the outside transmitter that allows me to hear the generator, so I know I'm getting a good start each time. And when I'm drawing a lot more, I can hear how it's how the RPMs are up or down. And so next time I'll try and explain this a little bit more, but it's a pretty neat situation. It's a little messy right now. As you can see, things are opened up, and you know, just got to clean this up a bit. I'm thinking about going to a few more of the grid ties. I know a few people weren't really happy with this. One of the guys, Kevin on the Outer Banks. Kevin, I love your videos. Absolutely awesome. Your solar stuff is terrific. Keep doing what you're doing, because I'm always looking for your new videos. Al, love your stuff out there. Don't worry about what anybody says, Al. You're doing the right thing, and your solar stuff is great. Your soul stuff is great. We're loving it all. and all the other guys that have been posting comments that I talked to. Thanks so much, guys, for putting this stuff out there. So this year I'm going to try and add a bit to the YouTube video stuff and try and become part of the community. All right, Tony on the Jersey Shore outside of Atlantic City. Everybody have a great day.